Welcome back. This week we're gonna go with my good friend John Stoyanoff's Spring Creek Midge. John is, I don't know how else to put it, one of the best fishermen that I've ever had the privilege to fish with. He is just, the wealth of knowledge that this man has is unbelievable. And the nice thing about it is he's not an asshole. he's so down to earth. He will take time to explain things to you. Just so knowledgeable and very personable, and like I said, I mean, just a real pleasure to fish with. If you guys are ever in Altoona, Pennsylvania, stop by Field and Stream, go back to the fishing section, talk to John. Just an absolute great person to talk to. Like I said, knows a ton about fishing. On this subject, I got a chance to fish with John probably 5 years ago, and he absolutely took me to school on this pattern. He took me to school, beat me up, and he stole my lunch money. The dude caught so many freaking fish, and I was fishing in front of him. And I asked him, I was like, John, what fly are you using? And he said, Josh, it doesn't matter what fly I'm using. He said, it's all about where it's at in the water column. And that really made me analyze, you know, what I was doing as a fisherman, because we were tight lining that day, and you know, I went in front, and he's like, go ahead, fish in front of me. So I went in front and I caught a couple of fish. I thought I was doing good, and he came behind me and just cleaned up. He probably caught a dozen fish, and he was working the different sections of the water column, and that's the absolute key, because while I was hitting one section, I was focusing mainly on the bottom. If I were drifting in front of that fish, I would catch it, but a fish isn't, if it's sitting up here in the water column, it's not going to go down to a fly very often. You know, it's going to take the stuff that's coming right to him, and that's what John was doing. He was adjusting his depths, and he was catching fish that I was bypassing. So, long story short on this one, vary your depths. If you don't catch a fish in one section of water, don't just go past it. Go back through it, work the different stratas, and you're going to catch more fish. I mean, I'm telling you, it's true, because I've done it. You know, I mean, I've seen what working the different levels will do. I mean, it just requires a lot more patience. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. John originally did this one in tan. I'm going to do it in olive, because I have, for the life of me, it's such a small fly, I have not been able to get tan to show up, no matter what my lighting is, no matter what color of shirt I'm wearing. It just does not show up. So I'm going to do this in olive, and we're going to go through this real quick. I have just an olive 8/0 thread. Real simple pattern, really quick tie. You can bust a dozen of these out in 10 minutes if you want. So just go ahead and get a quick thread base down. Run this to the back. And we're going to grab some copper wire here. This is extra small. If I can figure out where the hell I put it, I'll just grab off the spool here. I had a piece setting out, but you know how that works. Try and set things up to save some time and forget to where the hell you put it, or maybe I knocked it off the table, who knows. But regardless. So we're going to go ahead and start this at the very front. This is just going to help some with the overall bulk of the fly, to help with the taper. You don't want a real bulky, I mean, it's a size 18. I mean, I tie these in 20s too. But it's a size 18, so I mean, don't get carried away with the bulk, and that's why I go with the 8/0, because, you know, I mean, I can tie it with a 6/0, but it winds up making a lot of bulk really quick, and you can get carried away in a hurry. So just go ahead and fold this over. There, we'll get the, make sure that you take your wire and you fold it over on itself and tie it, like, just like if you've watched any of the streamer videos where I'm wrapping, slopping, or whatever it may be. I always kick the wire around and tie it back on itself. That way when I pull on it, oh shit. Never mind. That was a bad example for extra small. I shouldn't have tugged on it that much. Stuff is pretty brittle. Anyhow, it'll take me a second here. I'll get this taper back and everything will be good. Oh goodness. I should cut that out and start over, but I don't know, y'all get a good laugh at me. It's not like this fly takes very long to tie anyhow, so some entertainment on my behalf, I guess. Get a good laugh. So like I was saying, fold it over. Don't pull on it too tight. Apparently that stuff likes to break. And then just work on your taper here. I know that camera's probably not picking this up too well because it's such a small fly and it's probably a little fuzzy. I apologize if it is. I just cannot get the lighting right for some reason. So the next thing I'm going to take on this is when John tied this, he used Neer hair. This is just a synthetic that I have laying around. I use this a lot for you know, like spent wing spinners and stuff like that. It's not quite Zelon. It's more like a yarn. It's just a lot finer. I don't even know what the heck it is. I just have it on a card here. I'm not even sure what the material is called, to be honest with you, but John used the Neer hair. CDC will work. Anything really will do the trick. And it doesn't really need to be that specific. Don't overthink it too much. Just use something. If you want to use Senyo's laser dub, go ahead and do that. That'll work as well. So I'm just going to take a little tag into this and I'm going to lay it back on the hook, and this is also going to help on my taper. So just go ahead, and I'm going to trim some of this because it's getting in my way. Go ahead and make sure that your thread covers up all of this. Make sure your thread covers up all of the white material that you're tying in, whether it be CDC or Neer hair or laser dub, whatever it may be. And then we're just going to go ahead and take and counter wrap this with our extra small wire. As I demonstrated to you earlier, don't pull on it too tight because this stuff will break pretty quick. That's the whole reason that I did that. I just wanted to show you how brittle this stuff was. It's not because I messed up at all. Oh boy. Sure, that's the reason we did it. That's the reason for sure. So go ahead and just work that all the way up to the front. Let me get one more good wrap in there. I'm going to go ahead and clip this off. And I'm going to flip this on the back side. And I'm just going to tie over top of this. Covering up my wire, covering up my thread. And I'm going to get a quick whip finish on this. Oh, get out of there. Get the whip finish real quick. And then I'm going to take this, and I don't want a nice clean cut. It's really tough to do with this synthetic material to not have it real clean. So what I do is I just take the very backs of my scissors and I just kind of push right through it a little bit and to where it stays nice and fuzzy. It's not a real clean cut, but you can still see, let me put my hand here, and you can see this little overwing, you know, starting to come out, starting to, you know, act like a budding Wingcase or whatever it may be. So there it is. There's John Stoyanoff's Spring Creek Midge, and my damn remote isn't wanting to cooperate with me here. I may have to get a new one. But there we go. There's John's Spring Creek Midge. If y'all have any questions, comments on this, leave them with me. As always, I'll get back to you. But thanks for watching, And if you're in Altoona, make sure you stop by and say hi to John. Tell him I said hello. But we'll catch you on next week's fly.